Guys, I'm back for my third attempt at this last level. This level is really hard, and it's hard for a shitty reason. I'll explain why in just a second. I hate this level. It's very simple.
Here are your final orders.
But it's very hard. The time has finally come to settle things with Maximilian. I assume he's capable of neutralizing any attack you send his way, the same as the other Valkyria we've seen. That said, Maximilian's Valkyrian powers are the results of some device or artificial. I'm certain he'll have a weak point somewhere on that deck. Find it, then lob every bullet and bomb you've got at it. Your objective is to defeat Maximilian once and for all. Take out that maniac and put an end to this war, Sevens. And while it may not stop bullets, I hope you won't forget that you go with an entire nation's hopes for peace. Yes, we do. So, I saw on YouTube somebody do this in one turn, 1 CP. And what I saw was a gigantic... Well, basically him just relying on one unit's potentials that all worked perfectly. But that won't really work for me, I don't think. Because... my shock troopers are level 11. His were level 19. That's a pretty big difference. I don't know. I saw him use Vyse. Vyse has some pretty good potentials. I've been using Rosie for everything. Let me see. Can I check her weapons? Alright, 30R. 20R. I can't see HP. I think that I'm pretty sure that 30R does a lot more damage. So you know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna give Vyse the 30R. Alright, I'm back. And now Vyse has the 30R. Rosie's got a 20R. Okay, I'm gonna try to do what I saw that insane psychopath do with Vyse. I don't have one thing that will help me a lot with this. The final potential for shock troopers is really, really good. Especially Vyse's. Don't have it. And he's level 11. Might get killed on his way over there. I don't know. But, let's see. What does Rosie have? Does Rosie have... No, Vyse has super damage. Rosie does not have super damage. Edie has super damage. Panicky? I don't think Panicky is something I want here, though. Yeah, I don't think Panicky is good at all. Undercover fire, mid-range skill, super damage, fearless will, tank hater, lancer hater, camp defender, fearless will, first aid boost. Undodgeable shot, though. He has undodgeable shot, so I do want Vyse here. Originally, what I thought I was gonna do. Well, you know what? Let me actually just skip all of this. I'll explain how this first and second attempts went in just a second. Okay, guys, so here's how I'm gonna try to do this. I've got Rosie in the top right just for the extra CP. I've got Vyse in the top left. I think that's where I'm gonna attempt to approach Maximilian from. I've got Ica right next to Vyse. Just hopefully maybe that'll activate something for him. I don't know. I've got Alicia in the bottom left, I've got a sniper in the bottom right, and I've got 2 engineers, just in case something happens to either of them. And the second time I attempted this, Dallas went down immediately, so I relied on Nadine to keep both of the tanks alive. This level is really goddamn hard. Really, really hard, because I tried doing it the normal way. I'm going to try doing it a cheap way. Maybe that'll go a little better, I don't know.
Alright, we're all set to begin. Let's take Gallia back with our own hands, Sevens.
That guy did it in one goddamn turn. One move.
This is our final operation. Let's end this war. Squad 7, move out.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do, yeah, the first thing I'm going to want to do is move up with the Edelweiss a little bit.
On the Marmota's deck, eh? Nice spot for a showdown.
It's just a shame we got no audience.
My Shamrock's chomping at the bit for a piece of this action.
The Edelweiss is also all ready to go, sir. We're ready for your orders, Welkin.
Look at how determined everybody is, guys. They're all fucking ready for this shit.
Okay, let's get started, Sevens. Our target is the enemy commander, Maximilian himself.
Okay, so pieces of the lance thing are falling. And there's like debris all over the place. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. So basically the way this level works is that Maximilian is right here. There are a bunch of towers spread around the map. At the start of every turn, there will be 3 of those towers like supplying him with energy. When there's one, he only needs 1 tower to be giving him energy for him to like just be invincible. So what I need to do first is take out these 3 towers right here. That's the first thing I need to do. I think the first, let's see, where is my, here she's Catherine. I need Catherine to take out this far tower. Way over here. She should be able to do this in 1 shot, I believe. Yep, 1 shot, okay. Alright, so that tower is done for. And what I've also learned that's very surprising to me is that leaving anybody in the back here, even in cover, is not safe at all. What I need to do is run behind this. Might take a little bit of damage like that, but Maximilian's attacks seem to pierce tanks somehow. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but it seems to be. It's a little crazy. So right now what I need to do is deal with these 2 towers. So what I want to do firster than that is move up with the tanks, both of them, just to kind of give a little bit of a shield here. Create a little bit of a shield. Actually, what I think I want to do here's what I'm gonna do. This is a little bit crazy, I think, but I'm gonna do it. I want this. I don't think these things will be attacking. I think the back of the Edelweiss is pretty much safe. Are you kidding me? Why would you fucking miss, Edelweiss? Okay. Taking a tiny bit of damage. That's totally fine. Wow, that sucks that missed. That is really annoying. But Catherine won't miss. The Edelweiss is right here, right up in Maximilian's frickin' grill. What I want to do next, I think, is... let me actually try not to even move the Shamrock this turn. I might not have to. No. There we go. Okay. 4 shots to... wait a minute. What's going on here? Why do these... okay, here's the thing I've just learned. These towers all seem to have, like, different stats. For some reason, this one is going to take 4 sniper shots to take down. That far one took 1. That sucks. There was no indication that that was a thing at all. That really sucks. So it's not even that their HP is that different. It's just that they have like different defensive stats. 1600, 1600. And what is this? Yeah. So I did what? 500-ish to this one. And I did 1,000 to this one. So, okay. Wow, I didn't notice that the fucking last time. That is annoying. That is really irritating. So I've got to do this with Rosie. Because Rosie takes very little damage from these anyway. And I can't even see my target right now.
Ain't no stopping me.
Okay. Ugh, that's irritating. Irritating. You see, like that, I had to learn that by trial and error, that there was no indication that they had different stats at all. That's stupid. That That is really stupid. Alright, so let's waste another CP just to take care of this. Wait a minute, so this is 14. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch that again. So I think even this one has different like stats from the one we just took out. I think. I know if it's strong will activated, but I think that was only after I started the attack.
Just try dodging me. Let me help. Down.
That's crazy. Alright, so now here is the real fucking plan. Here's the real strategy. Hopefully it doesn't completely fail. And it's to rely on Vyse, who has like double damage or something. I need awaken potential on Vyse.
You can do this. Trust in yourself.
I don't know how many turns this is going to take. The one guy I saw on YouTube did it in one turn, but I think he had a better weapon than I did, and he was level freaking 19. So, let me see. Sniper support. No, no. Penetration? I think attack boost I also want. Let's try this.
This is an order. Attack with everything you've got.
Let me try it with just this stuff. See how this goes.
Today's the wrong day to mess with me.
Super damage. Activate. Something activate with Ica. Ugh. It's kind of a good amount of damage there. Come on. Oh, and the Edelweiss is going to support. Nice. So what I saw this guy do was he went for body shots. I think I'm going to do that. Undodgeable shot. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see. Oh my god, Vyse, you madman. And he dodged it. Wow, so am I just going to do this in one turn with a level 11 fucking shock trooper?
Filthy vermin. Very well. We shall see how you fare once the power output is raised to its limit.
No, I don't want to see that. What is this shit?
Try to advance while staying covered.
Oh my god, he's mutating. Why is he way back there now? What is that? Oh, fucking game.
Our hero's in trouble now.
Fuck. Alright, so this might not go so well. That's super annoying that he fucking ran all the way back there. That is irritating. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. This might still be alright though. I might still be okay. Edelweiss has barely taken any damage. As long as Vyse survives, I think I might be able to do this again. Vyse is...
Leave it all to me. Today's the wrong day to mess with me. Whee! Our hero's in trouble now.
I don't know how much damage that was that I just took. Oh, oh, god, shit. I could have healed with Vyse. Alright, I'm being a little bit reckless now. I need to chill. Alright, let's see what Vyse can do. Let's see what he can do. This is like way far away, and this is almost certainly going to do nothing. Alright, I think I'm going to have to reload actually. Let's just see what happens. Let's check. Nothing. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to have to reload, I think. I'm curious to see if Vyse will survive. If anyone will survive. I have no idea what's going on right now. I have no fucking idea. Please live, Vyse. Live. Survive whatever this is. I think actually Vyse has cover from the rail right now. Wow, this is going really slow. Alright, so I've never seen this before. I have no idea how much What? He just didn't... Okay. Alright, he's gonna go after the Edelweiss, I'm gonna guess. So I've seen how much damage this does to the Edelweiss, but I haven't seen how much damage it does to the Edelweiss when he's like all powered up like this. What? Or he's not gonna do anything. Okay, game. Okay. Makes no fucking sense at all. But okay. Oh my god, and you see this? He fucking recovers HP every turn. That is awful. Ugh. Like, I need to use, like, crazy tactics like this with Vyse to do anything to this guy. Hopefully there's no part 3 to this where he just fucking runs away again, because that would be super irritating. So what I need to do with Vyse right now is I don't need to worry about these armored turrets. I do need to take this one out because it's providing shield for Maximilian. I need to take these out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take care of these first with Rosie, so that I can safely move up Largo. Oh god, it's attacking the Edelweiss. So I can safely move up Largo and take out that other one. Okay, Rosie, let's do that again.
Let's do this thing.
Why would I be targeting the Edelweiss? Okay. So anyway, like the way the guy actually was able to, on YouTube, the way he did it in one turn was that he had an ability called, I forget what it's called, but with Vyse. But basically what it does is, I think it's like double attack or something, where he attacks a second time. And there's a chance that it'll work, but basically, if I would have had that double attack, and I would have attacked Maximilian again with Vyse immediately after mine had finished, I would have killed him. But unfortunately, I'm level 11, so whatever. Okay, I need Largo. I need him to not fucking miss. Oh, that does barely any damage to Largo. So let's get up fucking close. Wow, I'm not even getting attacked at this. What is going on? I have cover with Largo. Oh, god damn it. Don't miss right now, Largo. What the fuck are you doing? Ruining my LP. Cannot fucking miss. Stop it with the misses. You know what, let me try from right here. I probably can't even angle that. I can. Alright, there we go. Alright, Largo. Now I need this other one to hit. I will accept no more misses from Largo. Okay, got a good amount of CP to do this. I should be able to finish this right now, I think. Don't give a fuck about that other turret. That turret means nothing to me. But let's move Largo up over here anyway. Right here. Alright, Vyse, fucking round 2. Let's do this. Got a good amount of HP. Awakened potential. And attack boost again. As long as he survives one attack, and he should, I should be able to take out Maximilian. Attack boost, only 1 CP.
This is an order. Attack with everything you've got.
I believe in you, Vyse. I have 4 CP left. I could use another order. I could use defense boost. I'm using defense boost.
This is an order.
I don't think he has that ability.
Brace up and get
Like,
ready to defend.
passively. I don't think he has it already. So let's just make sure that Vyse doesn't get killed.
Leave it all to me.
Okay.
The wrong day to
Super
mess with
damage. Nice, 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 nice. Oh my god, he just turned around already. Okay. You know what? Fuck you.
me. Our hero's in trouble
There we
now.
go. Alright. Bring it on. Wait, wait. Right up in his frickin' face. He better not dodge or block this.
You can't dodge this.
Yes. Come on. Come on, Vyse. You can do this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Vyse is the man. Alright. Okay, so I guess this was the strategy to use. I was actually trying to snipe Maximilian, and I was getting headshots on him, right? And it was doing like maybe I was taking out like maybe like 4% of Maximilian's total HP with a sniper headshot. I don't get how this game works. But it doesn't matter anymore. Because Maximilian is fucking going down. Down with you, Maximilian. Headshots. Give me an undodgeable shot. Yes, yes. Alright, there it is. 2 turns. What? Why? I didn't have super damage. Fuck. Dude, Vyse cannot be stopped. I got one more. All I need is undodgeable shot to activate. Super damage. There you go. Undodgeable shot. Give me a dodgeable shot. Yes. Oh my god, Vyse. Vyse is too good. That had better be that. Yes, it is. God damn it.
Impossible. Ours is the power of the Valkyria. How beaten.
So you remember how I kept on saying that this game is super easy when you know how the fuck to exploit shit? Yeah.
Maximilian, you lost the moment you began to rely on the Valkyria's power.
Fucking A rank. Oh my god. 2 fucking turns. Yeah, so that's how you beat that level. I feel very cheap for doing it that way, but I don't care.
Dogs of Gallia.
It's time to surrender, Maximilian. Your war is over.
Surrender, you say? I think you forget. We Valkyria can give our lives to fuel a blazing hot inferno of destruction.
But he's not a Valkyrie. Oh my god, he's going Super Saiyan.
Don't do this! It doesn't have to end like this!
It seems our dreams are not to be. Well then,
What a bitch.
join us. Let Gallia fall to ash.
I hate Maximilian. Oh. What a dumbass.
What? How?
What a
Why has
douche.
it stopped.
My guess is it's because I killed the power supply.
Oh, Faldio. Oh, shit.
Faldio, you made it!
Could have made it 2 turns earlier.
In time to hitch a ride on this monster. I'm sorry it took me so long to stop the engine.
Fucking Faldio.
Unhand us. Ah! What are you doing? Let's go!
Sorry, buddy. But I can't do that.
What? Faldio? What are you doing?
What are you doing, Faldio? This is insane!
Faldio, stop!
Welkin. Alicia. No matter my reasons, I was wrong to have betrayed you. Now, it's time that I paid for what I have done.
Let go! Let us go now!
Look at the 2 of us, thinking power could save us. Now it's our cue to leave the stage. Farewell, Welkin, Alicia. Best of luck.
What? What? Why? That was a senseless death. We beat him. We could have just shot him in the head. You didn't have to kill yourself, Faldio. That was really stupid. That was really stupid. Okay.
Damn it! The boss and the little misses are still in there!
Hey, boss!
two okay? Welkin, you're all right?
Yeah, except for that. Our way is blocked off.
Ah, Valdio, why you blocked our path now? You killed us with you. Fuck. Well, that is a convenient little blockade thing.
We can't cross! All of you, go on and get out of here!
Not a chance, boss! You get over here! We're leaving together or not at all!
We're gonna look around and find a way to connect to your side!
There's no time for that! Stay here any longer, you put the whole squad at risk! Listen! I'm not saying this again! You're going to leave now! That's an order!
Damn it all! Sevens, we're leaving! Get off of the Marmota!
The deck's a lost cause. Alicia, let's find a way up.
Right.
A way up.
Leon, I'm not afraid when I'm with you. Ever. Now let's go.
Thanks.
Aw.
Let's move.
So, escape. Okay. I can't believe it did that in 2 fucking turns. Oh.
It's no use. There's no way we're getting out of this.
Oh.
Alicia.
I see what's gonna happen. I totally see what's gonna happen. I absolutely see what's gonna happen. I knew it! Oh my god! I fucking knew it.
Welkin, that's Isara's plane!
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. They're fucking
We're not gonna have time. We've got to jump.
the Sonic the Hedgehog ending. This is completely insane. They're gonna jump onto it. Okay, okay, Sega. Okay, Sega. Alright, they jumped onto it and grabbed, and they didn't break every bone in their body in the process. They weren't chopped to pieces by the propeller. Right, okay. This is so Sonic the Hedgehog right now.
Woo! That was a close one, bro!
Leon, it must have taken forever to finish building this. Where did you find the time?
After we lost Isara, Casey and myself, well, everyone in the squad really came by to pitch in a hand. It was Isara's dream, you know? So, it wasn't hard finding help.
I don't suppose it was. Isara. You'll always live inside us. The dreams you left that day, now they're all of ours.
Rest in peace.
Ah.
So tell me, bro, how far are we going today? This baby could take us clear across the sea if we want.
Back home. Back to a free country. Our friends are waiting. Take us to Randroid.
Yay! We beat the game, guys, and we didn't die on the Marmota. Man, I don't know like why, but all of a sudden when I saw them in that high place, and I was thinking of like, okay, oh, is this just
The 25th day of October, 1935. The death of Maximilian, commander of the Empire's invasion of Gallian, paved the way for truce between the two nations. After 7 tumultuous months at war, Gallians everywhere looked forward to a time of hard-won peace.
This voice doesn't sound like Ellet's.
Squad 7 of the Gallian militia disbanded shortly after the conflict's conclusion. And its members began to move on, each following his or her own path.
Okay.
And here, at the end of their long struggle, I lay my pen to rest.
So we didn't lose anybody in this entire LP. Nobody died. Where are the end game? Okay, so there's probably cutscenes after the credits. So, okay, alright, so we beat the game. That was a hard freaking game. Wow, this ending kind of came like faster than I wasn't really expecting it right now. I don't know. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it. But anyway, the very end where we jump on the plane, I don't know. Like, I saw that we were in a high place. I was like, heights, high places. How could we possibly get out of this? And then I was thinking, okay, what important story thing have we heard that hasn't really come to pass yet, that hasn't really been utilized? And I was like, wait a minute. A plane. Isara was building a plane, and sure enough. Okay, so, okay. So my big fucking endgame discussion about Valkyria Chronicles. I like the story a lot. I really like the story a lot. The gameplay, I wish it didn't rely so much on randomization. That whole enemies evading attacks based on a random chance that you cannot see. I wouldn't have minded that so much if they would at least show you like the percentage, like your chance to actually hit your target. Like that was hidden, kind of. I wasn't really a fan of. I'm used to being able to see like my chance of hitting my target because I've played so much Fire Emblem. Yeah, in the beginning it seemed like, well, okay. In the beginning it seemed like things were up to random chance like a lot more, because the snipers that I had used in the beginning just didn't have they were not very accurate. So they had a good chance of missing anyway. But on top of that, like the chance that enemies would just evade altogether, that was especially annoying. So as snipers got more accurate, they became extremely useful later on in the game. I really didn't find... I found shock troopers very useful in the beginning. Not so much towards the like second half of the game. I felt like outranging the enemy... Like once I found out like how basically you could kill a lot of things in one turn with a scout and headshots. Once I figured that out, or I didn't figure it out. Once Cherry Miss told me about it in the comments, then I was like, all right, so I just need to outrange things and not rely on shock troopers for everything. Shock troopers' range is so little, it's so small that it just kind of really drives down their usefulness, I felt like. And I know that I was under-leveled throughout, like, I'm gonna guess most, if not all of this LP, which maybe kind of plays into why shock troopers I didn't find very useful. If they were higher leveled, they probably would have taken less damage and they would have been able to just charge in and just take shit out more. But that would have left them vulnerable to like lancers and snipers who would have just fucked them up in one hit. And I really didn't want to leave anybody like vulnerable to that at all. So I just try to outrange. I just try to avoid taking damage as much as humanly possible and just outrange everything. And that seemed to work out really well for me. Once I started relying on scouts and engineers and snipers more than shock troopers, the LP, I felt like it went a lot smoother. And also, once I started like playing like the first turn of every level and then restarting it, once I started doing that, the LP got so much better. My performance just... Oh, Eleanor Potter. Oh, they got married. Upon retirement from the armed forces, Eleanor began and still manages a publishing outfit. Following her marriage to Larga, Jesus Christ, this has gone fast. Larga Potter, leaving military service after the war, Larga returned to his hometown to restore the family farm. After offering Eleanor a bouquet large enough to fill an ox cart, gold ring and 10 years worth of love, two are finally married. 10 years worth of love? Rosie, the war's end marking the birth of a new star. Her hit song Love Passed On became an anthem during the years. She now travels Europa on a consistent tour. She gave Isara's grave. She visits Isara's grave. Zaka returned home to establish the Thousand Toy Factory and bring a smile back to the Smiles with orphans, Enigma box, 3-dimensional jigsaw puzzle, blah blah blah. This is too fast. After returning to school to get his master's degree, Crace developed a passionate research in the field of aeronautic. The grad thesis became a cornerstone of contemporary thought on flight. Leon Schmidt, a speed demon since the day he piloted a Stars plane. Leon subsequently became a racer by trade. He hasn't slowed. He continues to race competitions throughout Europa. Cordelia, after the war's end, she publicly confessed her heritage, shocking the masses. Her candor won support of most Gallians. However, she now leads Gallian name and fact. She remains single amidst many. Something. God damn it, that was way too fast. Who can fucking read that fast? Okay, well, of course, you guys should probably just pause all of that if you want to read it. But wow, that was irritatingly fast. But anyway, once I started trying out the level, trying out one turn of the level, and then actually getting into it, the LP went so much better. At that point, I was able to fucking, like, cut levels in half, more than half in a lot of cases. When we first attacked Yurlandio with Alicia, that would have taken, that video would have been, like, twice as long as it actually was, had I not actually used my crazy fucking just rush in there with Alicia tactics. A lot of these videos would have been like twice as long as they actually were if I hadn't tried out the level first. Okay. Something's gonna happen now. Yes. No, yes. Oh, wait, we didn't hear about Alicia and Welkin and all of that. And we're about to, I think. And there's a ton of lion's paws, which means Alicia has been here. Town has been restored. Welkin's back to normal. Mr. G.
You gotta take us bug hunting again soon, okay?
You bet. You know, I think you're ready for my top secret hunting spot.
Yippee! Thank you! We'll see you tomorrow!
Yep. Go right along home now.
Ah, Welkin, you nice guy.
Welkin Gunther. After the war, he returned to his studies. Many had thought the Gallian hero would rise to further fame, but Welkin had something else in mind. He returned to Brule, there to realize his long-held dream of becoming a teacher. On weekends, he's often seen taking his students out on nature hikes. His is a peaceful civilian life, and he would have it no other way.
Okay. I like this. I like this ending for Welkin. She has a little truck.
Thank you for choosing Alicia's.
Hey, honey. How's business today?
Her hair's different.
Hey! Hey, you. What a surprise.
She looks like a wife
Guess
now.
what? So I started selling the smoked cheese bread today, and everybody loves it.
Of course. Told you that bread was great. Guess everyone in town agrees with me.
Yeah.
Alicia Gunther. Trading in her rifle for a rolling pin, Alicia trained around the clock to pursue her dream. After many long months, she received her national certification as baker. On the same day, she married her sweetheart, Welkin Gunther. Together, the two opened Alicia's Bakery. It didn't take long for word to spread about her delicious creations. And now, even visitors from far away make a point of stopping to sample her fresh-baked bread.
How about you? How are your classes today?
You know, those kids never seem to run out of questions.
Alicia,
You know, they're amazing. Their curiosity's endless.
she looks older.
That's so. Then you're a kid too. You're as incurably curious as any one of them.
Might just be the hair.
Speaking of kids, how's Isara been today?
Oh, shit. She's been reborn as a pig.
Right?
What?
Papa!
Hey there! Have you been a good girl?
Yep.
you? I was real good. I was just helping Mama make some bread.
And she's voiced by the...
dough all by myself.
Oh, I wish you could have tasted the bread that dough made. Our customer said it was the best ever.
Hey, Isara, that's really great. All right, you show me how and I'll help, okay?
Yay! Come on, Papa, I'll teach you.
She's voiced by the same voice actress. That's crazy. Okay, so apparently, yeah, everybody is a little bit older because that's a child now. Oh, Isara. Isara. The real Isara, not this fake. I don't know about naming your daughter Isara, though. Might be cursed. I don't know. So this is a nice, happy ending. I would like to see a little bit more of this ending, but it looks like it's about to... There it is. Anytime that, like, the screen pans up to the sky, you know you're about to see the end. Creating save data to save your completed game. By loading this save data, you can carry over what you've earned to a new game and play through the game again. Nope. Don't think so. I guess I'll just save right here. I suppose. And I'm assuming that this unlocks the DLC. Maybe? Did I have access to the DLC the whole time and just never known it? Is it here? Oh shit, it is. Okay, so I've just been able to do the DLC from the very beginning. I thought I would like unlock that afterwards. Okay, I'll do that in just a second here. But first, let me load something. What is this? What is this new game? Clear. Does this just... I think this probably starts it all over. Let me see. I'm going to guess that that's what this is. It looks like it. It is. Alright, so no. Wait a minute. Beginning the second playthrough, story is unlocked by chapter instead of by episode, allowing for a quickened pace. So you can skip all the cutscenes. Now that's cool. Story battles can also be played multiple times, so keep at it until you've earned an A rank. Okay, developers, play our game a lot more, please. So, okay. New episodes, statistics. What is this? Here you can view your rankings and the shortest turn count for each of the battles you fought so far. Triangle button to open the menu, blah blah blah. Page 1 contains plot battle information. Page 2 contains ranking data from skirmish battles. Music tab. Music tabbing lists to tracks and soundtrack throughout the game. Okay. So a sound test. Pick a tune, kick back, and enjoy. Personnel tab has been... Cordelia? Wait a minute, what? I'm doing this a little too fast. Hard difficulty. What the hell? Wait a minute. Oh shit, all of this was... What? What is this? Dude, what? I'll do this later. I'll look into this a little bit later. House Randgreaves' secret. I'll look into all of this a little bit later. Because right now, I didn't get a new... Oh, I probably did, but I have to go to the... I have to talk to the princess. She'll give us a new thing, I would guess. Let's see. Statistics. Whoa, okay, so here's how I did this entire... Okay, so these are skirmishes. Wow, there are a lot of skirmishes. Alright, so here's how I did this whole LP, I guess. Okay, those are the... on the bottom, those are the reports. Okay. End of Dark Sin. Okay, so this is how I did. What time is it right now? I think I'm just going to leave it at this screen just so people can check out how badly I sucked and how badly I started not to suck towards like the second half of this LP. As you can see, B, 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 C, D ranks, a bunch of Ds, some Cs, 2 Ds, and then pretty much just B ranks, a bunch of A ranks, one C rank and one D rank, but mostly B's. I would say like a B average. I got like towards like the second half of this LP. I went from pretty much like a C average to about a B average or so. B plus. I give myself a B plus. Okay, so what was I saying? So yeah, basically once I started like just checking out the levels beforehand, the LP, as you can see, went by a lot more smoothly. I really yeah, I don't like how big randomization is in this. I don't like how, like, what I would totally prefer is if, like, instead of there being a random chance that your shots will just miss entirely, I would much prefer it if there are a random chance that your shots would just do, like, reduced damage somehow. Maybe they can in some way block the shots. I don't know. But yeah, it's really irritating when you have a perfect shot on an enemy, especially if they're not even looking right at you. Like those times where I like we're shooting at them from the side and somehow they can see like 90 degrees to like their side and they saw the shot and they just duck. I also think that whole evasion thing should have some kind of like a range to it. Like I think like a shock trooper shouldn't be able to dodge, to evade an attack, to evade a sniper shot from all the way across the map. And to be honest, I'm not really sure that they do have a range component to them. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming that they don't, because when I was sniping with Catherine in that level with the trenches, the showdown at Magyar 1. When I was sniping that, I think he was a scout. To be fair, I think he was a scout. He was able to dodge Catherine's sniper rifle. I think that was a little insane. There were a lot of parts in this, in the, mostly I would say like, like the second half of this game, a lot of parts where you'll just die or lose in a very stupid way. Again, Showdown at Magyar 1, where the Edelweiss was placed with its back facing an anti-tank. Not even really back, its back facing an anti-tank cannon. It was pretty much like, it didn't have its back turned to it. It was like perpendicular, perfectly like perpendicular, but a little bit in front of the anti-tank cannon. So the anti-tank cannon had a perfect shot on the Edelweiss's back. That it was placed right there is absolutely disgusting, and the level designer should be just punched in the face for doing that. And Showdown at Magyar 2, where enemies were just respawning without any kind of like basically respawning enemies. There should be some kind of an indication that more enemies are going to be coming from this spot, just so you know, just so they don't just appear. Because if they're going to respawn and be able to move on the same turn and attack on the same turn, there's got to be some kind of indication. You've got to know that enemies are just going to be coming from this direction. I mean, once you see it for the first time, you kind of like, all right, so that's the thing I've got to deal with. But playing this blind, where that's just a thing that comes out of nowhere, like, you're fucked. Like, that could really screw you up. Like Showdown at Magyar 2, where enemies were just spawning. A scout that spawned on the opposite side of the map actually ran across the whole map and took my camp. The same turn that it spawned on the opposite side of the map, it actually ran across and took my camp. What if I didn't have... Well, yeah, okay, so... It did that because I forget who was, I think it was Aika or Rosie, who was kind of just chilling in that spot, was sniped and killed. So that scout that had just spawned ran all the way across and took the base, and which caused me to get a game over. Stuff like that, I think, is just really bad game design. That's like, once you know that that's going to happen, like it's very easy to mitigate like stupid shit like that once you know about it. But the problem is that you're not going to know about it until it happens to you. Like, you're not gonna know that you're about to lose in a really cheap, stupid way until it happens to you. So it's kind of like you're almost set up to fail your first time. This is very much like Dark Souls, where like failure is almost a guaranteed in a lot of these situations. The battle at Barrius, absolutely a perfect example of this. According to the comments, what would have been a good strategy, and I didn't think to do this, and I would have thought that this would be completely insane to try, was that I should have been putting the Edelweiss in front of the what's that giant tank's name? The giant tank in the desert, whatever that thing is called, to get it to use its front-facing cannon, which caused its heat sink things to appear, which is what basically you need to have happen in order for you to actually beat the level. Everything that every character, like all the dialogue that happened, that took place before that, told me that putting the Edelweiss in front of it was suicide, and I absolutely should not do that. So I didn't. But the shitty thing is that you can't make any progress on taking that tank down unless it fires its front-facing cannon. So it's just kind of counterintuitive. There's a lot of counterintuitivity in what the game tells you to do and what the game encourages you to do and what you should actually do. The game encourages you to do things really, really fast. But a lot of the time, if you move really fast as you possibly can, and take like the center base, a lot of the time that'll trigger some kind of event where a bunch of enemies will just basically surround that base that you just took with maybe one scout who just decided to just run up because you were trying to be fast, because the game told you to be fast, and you'll just be fucked because you weren't prepared. You didn't take the time to prepare for this thing that came out of nowhere, like the Edelweiss showing up in the battle, Showdown at Magyar, like in the fact that Selvaria literally appeared in the center of the map, and all of a sudden, instead of you having 20 turns to fucking complete the level, you've got like 3 or 4. Basically because all of a sudden Selvaria, her objective is to take your base, which is not that far from her. So she probably could have got there in like 3 turns, I would guess. So if you didn't know that, what you would think, and which was absolutely my mistake, was that you should just try to do things as quickly as possible. Instead of getting everybody ready at that base, just ready to charge up. So that was like that kind of a thing. I felt like that was just way too common in this game. That really irritated the hell out of me. I didn't know that you could save like in a level. I didn't, like, for the first half of this game, I didn't know that you could do that. I don't remember exactly where I started doing that, but once I was able to do that and actually test things and reload saves, like, that also made things way easier. I don't know why, to be honest with you. I can't fault the game for that. I don't know why I didn't think to try to save mid-level. I guess maybe it never mentioned that you could. I could have checked, though. I don't know why I just assumed that you couldn't do that. So that was my mistake. But, yeah, like, the combat in this game, I think, to be honest with you, I think once I started, you know what, I'm going to say throughout, like, most of the LP, there were certain mistakes that I had made, sure. But I think for the most part, I did very well. Considering that I had never played this game before. There's a lot that you need to keep in mind. There's a lot that the game doesn't really tell you up front. There's a lot that you just kind of have to learn by trial and error and just by getting fucked by the game. There's a lot of things that aren't really explained that well. There's a lot of things that don't really make a lot of sense, like how strong of a point it was. Escape from the forest snare with just Welkin and Alicia. Just like it was made such a strong point that I just don't want to be seen by anybody. I just need to sneak through the forest. But halfway through the level, not even halfway, like a turn into the level, I basically had to get seen. like 2 turns into the level, I encountered somebody at a bridge that I had to cross. So I was like, okay. So that whole thing about being stealthy wasn't really, that didn't really mean anything. All it really meant was just stay out of the searchlights. Like, that's the most stealthy, that's the stealthiest that you need to be. That's the stealthiest that you can be in that level. But so misleading stuff like that was irritating. Showdown at Magyar 2, when Welkin specifically said, don't approach Alicia, she might kill us because she's a mindless Valkyria psychopath right now. That was absolutely untrue. I could get totally close to Alicia and she never did anything. She did nothing to anyone on my team. I understand that Welkin, you know, in terms of the story, he wouldn't know that, so it makes sense that he would say, okay, don't approach her. But that was outright misleading the player. I think if you wanted to, like, I think in that situation, you just shouldn't say anything. Don't say approach her. Don't say it's safe to approach her, because there's no way that we would know that. And don't say that it's unsafe to approach her, because that's just incorrect. And you're just lying to the player. So that's, I think in that situation, they should have just not said anything. I like the story a lot. I want to get through the negatives as much as I possibly can, so I can just end on a positive. Any other negatives? The music was okay. I really didn't notice it a whole lot. I would have liked a little bit more variability, diversity in like the level music. I felt like I heard the same couple of songs like a little bit too much. It really didn't stand out to me that much, to be honest with you. Like, this isn't a soundtrack I feel compelled to like listen to. Let's see. I like the art a lot. But that's a positive. I'll save that for later. Any other negatives? Negatives. Let me think negatives. I really also don't like in video games like the structure of complete a level, watch some cutscenes, and then do this like maintenance type thing. The headquarters, basically. That whole part. I didn't like that. Like, I know that that's kind of nitpicky because like you really have to restructure the game a lot to avoid that. I just didn't really like how after every level I would just have to go back to the headquarters and then buy one new weapon that I unlocked in R&D, buy the new order that I got, and then level up after every single level I would have to do that. I would have much preferred, like, if I were to just do all of that like in a menu or something much faster. I guess that would reduce immersion a tiny bit, maybe, I guess, relying on menus over like actual voice dialogue and things like that, but it would have been a lot faster, and I would have preferred that, because I would just call that busy work, and busy work is boring. It's not fun. I didn't hate it so much, but it took away from, it kept me from just getting back into the game. It was something to just kind of, it was a thing I had to do after every level. That's what it is. It was something it was a chore that I just had to do after every single level. I wanted to just get back to the game and just, you know, get back to the next level or watch some more cutscenes, just the good parts of the game. It was a forced, boring-ish part of the game that you just had to deal with constantly after every level. And I would have liked it if it were just a little bit faster. But yeah, so I that's not a huge complaint of mine, but I think it would have made the game more enjoyable. Not that it wasn't enjoyable, but yeah, something like that, just kind of busy work like that, I think you just want to like have players just get through as quickly as possible. The boring parts of the game that they have to get through. The whole structure of the game being broken down like this, being super segmented. I don't remember where exactly I mentioned it, but I can't progress forward in the story. I can't like go to chapter 1. I can't skip this. But that it's all broken up into tiny little cutscenes like this, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. It, you know what it allows for? It allows for you to get through a story that apparently takes place over 7 months a lot quicker. Because this cutscene can have nothing to do with this, which can have nothing to do with this. And there can be some time that elapses in between these two cutscenes because they're broken up. If these were just one flowing cutscene, one long flowing cutscene, then it would be really weird for like this to happen, and then like this would have to happen immediately afterwards if it were part of the same cutscene. I think what happens is like Welkin gets taken in by Alicia, and they're walking for a while. Alicia's checking out his notebook, and then this one starts. I guess really that's not a great example. Like if this were like an hour later or something, or I don't know, if this cutscene took place like after they had gotten to like the station or whatever, and Welkin were in for questioning or something, then if that were the case, then it would absolutely make no sense that would be part of this cutscene and that they would just flow into each other like that. In that case, it would make sense that these would be separated. These two didn't really need to be separated, I don't think, but having separated, segmented cutscenes like this allows for you to just kind of have some time that is unaccounted for in between these two cutscenes. It allows for that, and that's not a bad thing at all. That's actually kind of an interesting thing that I had never really thought of before playing this game. It actually made the LP a lot, well, it made editing these videos a lot easier on me, because since every cutscene was segmented and had a definite beginning and an end and a name, that made it very easy for me to just like write up to like take note of what time the cutscene started, and to like just make a note of that in the video description. I'm going to assume that most of you watching this video, if you've gotten this far, have noticed that every video that I upload, I make a timeline for. I break it down, so if there's a specific thing you want to see in this video or whatever video that I record, just look in the video description and just look for what you're looking for, and just like it's all time coded right there. You can just literally just click on the time, and it should bring you to that part in the video. I should really have probably mentioned that at the beginning of this LP. I think I'm going to do that for my next one. But yeah, I'd like the segmentation of the cutscenes and everything. That worked out very well. A lot better than I was expecting. I was kind of... I saw this and I was like, this is a little bit weird. This isn't the way video games do things. But this actually worked out very well. I liked all of this goddamn extra information. And I really kind of... Okay, you know, these are probably DLC things. Extra characters that I'll learn about in the DLC. Probably. I can't imagine that they would change up the main story for New Game Plus and actually add new characters like this. This is probably DLC. I liked all of this stuff. Maybe it's because I'm a writer and I'm just like a nerd like that, but Isara got updated? Why did she get updated? I liked... I just really liked it. I liked all of the little details in this. There were a lot of little details in this game. The glossary tab, all of this information, totally unnecessary, but I liked it. I really didn't care about most of this stuff in the glossary, but a lot of this stuff was really cool. A lot of the extra cutscenes, the optional cutscenes that you got to watch were really cool. That weren't like imperative to the story, but just kind of added a little bit. That was really cool. Didn't really give a shit about any of this, to be honest with you. None of this I care about. What does this look like? How many pages is this? What is this? Have we heard this? Oh, this is Rosie's song. in Japanese. Okay. Is this an actual, like... Oh, it's a full song. It's not just vocals. Okay. I'm going to leave it on this for a little while. I've never heard this song. But I liked all of the little details in this game. There's a lot of detail that went into this game, and I love all of it. Except for the shit I don't care about, like the entire weapons tab. I'm turning the music a little bit, because I'm trying to talk. What else? What didn't I like about this game? I really want to get all of the negatives just out of the way. The music, again, didn't really notice too much. A lot of problems in the level designs. A lot of little problems. Things weren't explained that well. There were a lot of little things that you needed to be aware of when playing this game. A lot of little details in how things worked that were just very hard to keep track of, honestly. Like it was hard enough for me because I'm, like, you know, recording an LP of this and I've got to kind of like talk a little bit. Like, I can't just be silent and just focus entirely on the game. So I mean, it was hard enough recording this, but I don't know. It just seemed like there were a lot, like with the Badamus, a lot of little tiny, like little. What's the word I'm looking for? Little specifics on how the mechanics worked, on how the Badamus worked, on how the enemy's AI was gonna be in this level. A lot of little tiny things that if you didn't like really like pay attention to every single thing that was said by Virat before the level started, like if you missed one tiny little detail, that could really hurt you. But there were a lot of little details, is what I'm saying, to remember and just keep track of. And if you're not familiar with this game, if this is your first playthrough, then you're probably going to forget a lot of it. You're probably not going to remember every single thing that you said. Now that I've played through this game once, if I were ever to play it again, I'm sure I would do way better. Way better. Because I'm familiar with it. So this game is kind of, like, I guess what I'm saying overall is that this game is just kind of not very friendly to absolute new blind players. It's pretty tough. Oh, what is another song is playing? What is this? Oh, it's just this. Okay. Alright, let's just stop this. Stop this madness. And let me actually just go back to, no, statistics. So yeah, this game is not very easy on new players. At all, I don't think. Yeah, I said it a bunch of times, but once you know how the level operates, it's very easy. And I was really under-leveled throughout this LP. I guess, to be honest, I didn't really feel it that much. I mostly got headshots, and I mostly killed enemies in one hit, like no matter who I was attacking them with, for the most part, except for enemies in cover, who are a giant pain to deal with. Oh, that's another thing I could fucking mention. Cover. Grass, specifically. Fucking grass. Cover that you can't destroy. Where pretty much your only way to deal with them efficiently on any level is to burn them with a flamethrower. Pretty much. Or with a mortar. Hit them with a mortar, which costs more CP. Unless, I guess, you're using a mortar lancer. But the fact that I think grass was just overpowered. Like, grass, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think grass should reduce the damage you take. That doesn't make any sense. I know that you're in cover, but I think only being behind a sandbag should reduce your damage like that. Being in grass, I think, should only just make you a lot harder to spot. I don't think it should reduce your damage. Or if it does reduce your damage, then I think it should just be minimal. A minimal reduction. The fact that when I was playing, what was it? An End to Darks and Hunting. that was such a pain in the ass. Because fucking every enemy was in grass. Like, that it took me, like, so many... Like, even with a normal... Even with a shock trooper, like, firing their machine gun, like, that it did that tiny amount of damage. Come to think of it, why the hell would a flamethrower negate cover? Why would a flamethrower do that and not a machine gun? Or a grenade, for that matter, or any other weapon? Why a flamethrower and not any other weapon? That doesn't make sense. That really doesn't make sense at all. But once you know about it, you know, once you know that to take out people in grass, you burn them. Once you know that, they're easy to deal with. But it doesn't make sense. Like, and you're only going to learn that if you just by chance just run up to an enemy in grass and burn them with a flamethrower. I don't know if there was anything about the flamethrower, like when you just got it, that mentioned specifically that it negates cover. I don't know. I don't think so. And if there was anything that mentioned it specifically, it must not have been made a very clear point, because I don't remember it at all. It might have just been quickly mentioned by somebody, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, that wasn't made clear. But anyway, so yeah, cover was kind of ridiculous. It didn't make sense. And I just kind of felt like a lot of things didn't make sense in this game. The enemy AI didn't make sense half the time. There would be a lot of instances where enemies would just run out of cover, stop, turn back, and then run back into cover. Like, that helps me. That makes it easier for me, I guess, but that didn't make any sense. Like, there's no way that I could, like, know... There's no way that I could predict that. It's unpredictable, and it's weird. There were a lot of times, too, where enemies would just run in front of the charge at the Edelweiss and just get annihilated. That didn't make any sense. Like, the game, the AI should know that running in front of the Edelweiss like that puts you in the Edelweiss's range, so that's only going to get you killed, so maybe don't do that. Like, the AI should have been aware that it taking this action would cause this enemy unit to just die for no reason. And yet it still happened. Not a lot, but often enough for me to notice it and for it to be really weird. There were issues with objects and like lines of sight, where like an object, something would be blocking more than its actual 3D model was actually blocking. Like I couldn't shoot over like a little rail, even though I were clearly above the rail. Like the gun I was holding was above the rail, and I clearly had a shot on whatever I was aiming at. Because there was a rail in front of me, below me, but in front of me, the rail would have blocked the shot. Like, that happened a few times. It wasn't a huge deal, because most of the time I was able to just like walk around whatever obstacle was blocking my sight. But that was that's just laziness. Like, that's just that I can really only attribute that to laziness. Like, that's just like if I'm standing at a rail and I don't actually have a shot on something I'm aiming down below, then either make the actual objects like blocking, make the objects actual physical size that you can't see, make that smaller, or make the rail taller so that it's actually blocking your shot, so that you can actually know that. Like, just the 3D models, like their actual models, which dictated where shots were blocked and where they weren't, wasn't true to what you actually saw a lot of the time. And that wasn't a giant, horrible, game-breaking thing, but it was, I think, a show of just a lack of general refinement. It was maybe laziness. I would say that's laziness. I would say that that's just got to be laziness. That's got to be just some guy just didn't want to, like, or maybe they just didn't have the money to do it, but somewhere along the line, the actual dimensions of the object in game didn't match the 3D model that players could see a lot of the time. And that was just, that's not good. That is low quality. That is poop. But yeah, that wasn't a big, huge deal. Just something I noticed. Oh, before you would start a level, they would just not give you nearly enough information. Not nearly enough information. Like that's why my rankings improved so dramatically in the second half of this LP. You just went in super underprepared, and the fact that you had to place your units, like what would have made that a lot better is if all of the initial cutscenes had played out, and then before the first person started, before you saw all your CP line up at the top of the screen, if at that point you were able to place your units, that would have been the time to do it. Because, I mean, that would have been better. It wouldn't have been ideal, because you still would learn a lot of things, like just moving around on the first turn. But the fact that you had to place your units without really seeing the battlefield, without really seeing where enemies were and where you needed a sniper because this fucking Lancer has a clear shot on the back of your tank to begin with, or like you're gonna start out immediately getting shot at from Selvaria, who's literally on the opposite end of the map. Like how could you foresee that? That's crazy. Like, you just need to know that beforehand. And again, that's just another thing that you just have to learn by getting fucked by the game a little bit. Like, it doesn't tell you that. It doesn't show, like, before you move or unit, I don't think it shows where enemies' lines of sight are. So you don't really know, like, if you're going to start immediately just getting shot at. So, like that, you just need more information. You need more information. This game is about, for a strategy game like this, you need all the information you can get. Information is super, super important. Informing the player is extremely important in a strategy game like this. And I just felt like the game didn't do a great job at informing the player throughout most of this LP, to be honest. Most of it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to cut it right there for like my negatives about the game and the gameplay and the levels and all of that. I think I'm just going to focus on positives now, because I think I've said almost, I might be missing some things. I really did like the whole like third person aspects of this. I really liked that I had to aim. I liked that. I like that they allowed me to aim with the D-pad also. I didn't know that that was a thing until about... I think I started doing that at the battle at Marbury Shore, halfway into the game. So I like that a lot. I like that you had to aim. I like that there was like a level of like not really skill, to be honest with you, because while you're aiming, the enemy's not attacking you, really. I just like that it like what direction you were facing like was really important, because it meant that you were more likely to evade attacks. And that's pretty much it. I think there was like a panicky type mechanic, I think, where like if you get attacked from behind, you have like reduced accuracy, which would play a big, I think if you get attacked from behind, when you counterattack, you just have a lot like less accurate. You're a lot less accurate. I think that's how that worked. I really didn't pay a ton of attention to that mechanic, but I liked that that was a thing. That was really cool. What else? Scouts were extremely useful once I actually learned that they didn't completely suck. Scouts were very, very useful. Actually, you know what? All of the units were very useful. They were very specialized. Very, very specialized. I really liked how super specialized engineers were too. All the things that they could do. I kind of would have liked scouts to have a little bit of that utility though. Like I felt like scouts really all they could do, the only special thing about scouts was that they could move a lot, and really they couldn't move that much more than engineers until you get fucking like double walking or whatever the fuck that potential was. Double movement. What I kind of would have been cool, I think, is like if, and actually no, I guess it kind of was a thing. I was about to say what would have been cool is if like the units themselves moved at like different speeds or something, or like readied their guns quicker or something like that. Like if scouts were just really quick and they just like were ready to like, they could like ready their rifle like faster than other units, that would have been really cool. Or shock troopers. I know that Lancers did seem to move a little bit slower. They had less AP, but they actually, their movement speed actually did seem to be slower than like scouts, for example. So maybe that was kind of a thing a little bit. I would have liked a little bit more like a variation in that though. That could have been a cool mechanic if it were like, if the differences were more significant, I guess. Like I didn't really notice any change, any difference in movement speed between scouts and shock troopers or engineers. It was pretty much just Lancers and everyone else. Snipers might have also moved a little bit slower. I'm not really sure. Potentials also. Potentials break the game. They do. They do. They make the game, if you, again, and this only really benefits you if you know about the potential. They really break the game. Hardcore. As you can see in the last 2 levels there, I killed Maximilian in 2 turns with Vyse. And yeah, that double damage potential, I don't think shock troopers should have that. It makes the game too easy. It's too easy to exploit. Awakened potential also is too easily exploitable. Basically all of Alicia's potential are too easily exploitable. It made the game a lot easier, and that really made the difference between like an A rank and a B rank. But yeah, I just think if you're designing a game, you just don't want to put things, potentially game-breaking things like that into your game. You don't want to design that into it. Like, I mean, Fight for Gearlandio, I did that in 3 turns. That should have taken me at least like 5 or 6, I think. The fact that I was able to exploit Alicia's potential to take it in, to finish it in 3, I can't imagine that is a good thing if we're just talking about in just sheer terms of like game design. Like, that you can break the game that easily, I don't think that's a good thing. I mean, as the player, being able to finish a level that quickly, I guess I don't mind it, you know, as just purely as a player. But yeah, I don't think the developers want to see this screen right here. I don't think they want to see that you can complete Final Showdown in 2 turns. Like they put a lot of thought into like designing that boss fight and designing that level. I don't think they want to see players just like rushing through and just taking it just really fast. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I just think it's kind of like this whole second half of Fight for Gearlandio, where Alicia just rushed in and just ran through everything. Like I ran through it all. I skipped it. I skipped part of the game. I skipped part of this LP, guys. And yeah, I just don't think that a game designer wouldn't want that to be a thing for their game. And it seems like, from the little that I've seen of other LPs, of other people playing this game, it seems like exploiting potential is just pretty much widely accepted. Like, when I first started doing it, I was like, with the Fight for Gearlandio again, with Alicia, I was thinking like, people are gonna hate me for doing this. This is so cheap. I'm like skipping the game. I'm cheating, but I don't think people like. and I know I don't have a lot of views on these videos, but I don't think many people are going to see that and be like, what the this guy's fucking cheating. I'm not watching this LP. I don't think anybody's going to care. I think I cared a lot more about it than most other people watching this LP would. So I just think that, like, again, just potentials just break the game. And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think a broken game is a good thing. I think if, Cherry Mist made a comment about, you know, I probably would have enjoyed the game more if I had done skirmishes and leveled up and hadn't been so under-leveled. But I would have enjoyed the levels more if I had done that, but that would have also meant that I would have had to do boring, in my opinion, boring, grindy skirmishes. I would have had to have grinded this stuff, and that's, I don't like grinding in video games. I don't like doing that. I don't like when I play like a turn-based game, I've got to fucking, before I fight this boss, I better run out here and just fight a bunch of enemies and level up a few times, because I'm just gonna get my ass kicked. I don't like doing that in video games. I think it's boring. So that's why I didn't do any of this stuff. It would have probably made the main story like more, less of a pain, I guess, because I would have had elites a lot sooner. I would have had better potentials a lot sooner. I would have had better stats, more AP. But yeah, then I'd have to do all of this, and this is way more boring, busy work than me just having to trudge through some levels, you know. Yeah, so I don't like grinding in games. I hate, okay, two things I hate: grinding in video games and randomization. Those are the two worst things that you can make a part of your game design, in my opinion. Which I played MapleStory for like 7 years on and off, and that game is all about grinding, and it's all about randomization now. I don't know. So maybe it's just because I have so much experience with it, I'm just like sick of it. I don't know. But I'm not a fan of grinding, I'm not a fan of randomization. And there were, I guess the game, according to the amount of skirmishes here, wanted me to do some grinding, but no. Okay, alright, you know, I think for real this time I'm done with the negatives. Positives. What other positives that I can mention? But without going into the story, because I have a lot of positives to say about the story. What else can I say about the gameplay positives? Lines of sight. There were lines of sight. That was cool. That was really cool. To be honest, I didn't fully understand the different colors, what the different colors meant a lot of time. I know red meant that I was getting shot at, and I think yellow meant that the enemy had sight on me. I'm not exactly sure what blue meant. I think blue might have meant that I could see them, but they couldn't see me. I think, maybe. I'm not sure. But I liked that. I wasn't expecting lines of sight, like overarching lines of sight like that. When I first saw it, I was pretty excited. I was like, that's pretty awesome. Tanks. I pretty much... I really didn't. I liked that tanks had they had a tread component and the main body component, and damaging each one did different things. That was really cool that they thought it out like to that level. That was awesome. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't like how easy it was to take out a tank if you could just get behind it. I guess that kind of added some balance to it, but it just made tanks a little bit, I guess, coupled with bad AI, like, it just made tanks very easy to take out. I guess that would have been fine if the tanks had the AI to, like, not allow their back to be exposed so easily. I guess that would have made it fine. But, yeah, it was just really easy, for the most part, to get around tanks and just annihilate them. A little bit too easy. I know the list of negatives way outweigh the positives at this point, and I'm sorry about that, but maybe I'm just noticing the negatives more in terms of gameplay, but there were a lot of negatives. A lot of negatives in terms of the gameplay, that, in my opinion, in terms of the... I liked that once you became an elite, you got a new weapon. That was really cool. That was a really... I kind of wish that I would have known somehow, so that I could know to, like, level up Shock Trooper so that I can get access to the flamethrower sooner. But I also see why they didn't just tell me that up front. I mean, it would have been cool if, like if you're looking at the level up screen and you're about to level up, if it would just show you, like, in a box or something, next unlock something, and it looked like a weapon or something like that, or an order, some kind of an icon for an order, I don't know. If they had showed you that you were about to unlock something like that, like if you had leveled up, like, because I think I had my Shock Troopers at level 10 for a while, and then I got to a level 11. I got to level 11 after I got everyone else caught up, and then immediately I just had Elite Shock Troopers. If I had known that level 11 was the level that I got to Elite, then I would have done that way sooner. I mean, I get why they wouldn't just tell you that up front. It kind of quote unquote spoils it. I get that. And I get that you can't just tell the player everything up front. But still, still. Like, if I had some indication, or not even a new weapon, if I just had known that something good would happen at level 11, some indication, something telling me that once you get to level 11, you want to get to level 11 quick. If I had anything to tell me that, then I would have done it a lot sooner. And I don't think that would have been really like a big deal. I think that would be fine to do. I would have liked that. But it was alright. It was alright. You know, I think I'm done talking about the gameplay. I think I've elaborated on that a lot. Enough, anyway. So let me talk about the story. Let's talk about the story. A lot of good things to say about the story. I liked... First of all, Welkin and Alicia's relationship. I liked the dynamic between those two characters a whole lot. I liked, like, right from the beginning, like, it wasn't a typical, like... They're both kind of just like... They like each other, but they're both really shy about it. And anytime anyone brings any attention to the fact that they might be a couple or something, like in the beginning, when Alicia met when Alicia met Martha, and she was like kind of teasing Welkin a little bit. Like, I like that Welkin wasn't just like, no, don't, shut up. Like, he didn't get all pissed off at her, and, you know, that I think would be like the typical way to handle that in like that's more like an anime thing, I think. I like that it was not the absolute typical fucking reaction like that. I liked that a lot. That was really cool. I liked I didn't like really Welkin's just him just being terrible at like handling anything like emotional. Like, anytime Alicia would be affectionate on any level, Welkin would just kind of clam up or just not do anything or say anything. He was just not very good at dealing with that stuff. Even Isara, I think. Like, I would have liked a little bit of like brotherly, sisterly affection, some kind of a relationship between them, you know? It was just I guess that kind of explains why Isara wasn't like really like, I think at one point Elliot asked Isara if she loved Welkin, and she said, well, I respect him a great deal. I think that was probably because Welkin was just not very close to her, like as a brother. They were really more like friends, to be honest. They really didn't seem like a brother and a sister. Welkin wasn't really as protective of Isara as her fucking personnel tab led me to believe. They weren't as close as I was expecting them to be. So Welkin just kind of sucked at dealing with like emotions in general, I kind of felt like. Which I guess just could have been part of his character, I guess. But I think it was a little bit unrealistically bad at handling it, I think. I don't know. But, and you know, I know I'm getting a little bit negative again, but there were a lot of things in the story that I kind of wanted more information on. You know what? I just said that, and I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking it through, and I'm gonna take that back. Not a lot of things. Some things. There were some things in the story that were not really explained. Maximilian referring to himself as us and we. What the hell was that about? Maybe that might get explained in the DLC. I don't know. But that should have been explained in the main story. That could have totally been a thing. That was too weird for it not to have been a thing. That was too weird, and it stood out too much for that not to have been some kind of a significant anything. Like, at one point, while I was thinking about just Maximilian and Selvaria, I noticed how much Selvaria looked like Virat. I saw her face and I was like, wait a minute. She has basically the same face as Virat, only their hair was different and their eye color. But I've kind of noticed that a lot of characters pretty much have the same face. She pretty much... Yeah, a lot of characters have that face, basically. But yeah, at one point I was just wondering, wait a minute, is she related to Virat in some weird way? Because they look really similar. I really thought Selvaria had some kind of relationship to one of the characters, one of the members of Squad 7. Somebody. But she didn't. And she was kind of killed off in a stupid way. She gave her life because she was in love with Maximilian. But it was like, just painfully obvious how he was using her. Like, and I think she realized it. I think she was aware of it. I don't think she was that... She didn't strike me as that dumb of a character that she wouldn't have noticed. Jaeger noticed. Jaeger also, him just disappearing like that. Like, he should have... Something cooler should have happened with Jaeger. He was too cool of a character for him to just walk away and never be heard from again. Selvaria was too interesting of a character for her to have just died in that way. Gregor... I'm glad that he died. He was extremely unlikable, and he died in a horrible way, which was nice. Maximilian was a douche. Pretty consistent. Pretty consistent. Consistently a douche. I didn't like Maximilian. But it was just kind of weird just how everyone just allowed... Well, Selvaria, mostly. And Jaeger... I guess kind of Jaeger, I don't know, but mostly Selvaria just allowed herself to be used by Maximilian like that. Especially after she met, like, Alicia. I thought that would have been, like, a turning point for Selvaria. You know, like, that could have been... Her fucking eyes are open and she's just going to join the side of good or something. And the two Valkyria are going to do something good. I don't know. But, yeah, Selvaria, I wish she hadn't died the way she did. That was dumb. Isara, too. Although, you know what, I guess I made a big, long comment about this, and I don't remember what video it was, but Isara's death happened out of nowhere. Completely out of nowhere. It was random, and it just happened. I saw it coming in that cutscene because I knew that she would die at some point. I just saw things like, things are going too well right now. Things are finally going to be okay between her and Rosie. I just knew it was going to happen. I felt it. I felt it. But her dying in the way that she did, I didn't like it. But I think that was the point of her dying in the way that she did. I didn't like it. Isara was an ultra likable, lovable character. And her dying in that way was just hard on players. And I think one of the messages that the writers wanted to get across with Isara's death was that war isn't always like nice, and people don't always die like heroic deaths, honorable deaths. Sometimes people just die. A lot of people just die. War isn't pretty like that. It's ugly, and it's chance. It's a lot to do with chance being in the wrong place at the wrong time. and you could just die. Like, it doesn't matter that you're a likable, lovable character. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you will just die. And that's kind of just the nature of war. I think that was a lot of the message that they wanted to get across with Isara's death. And they succeeded. They succeeded. I really don't like that she died, though. Wish she could have lived. Or at least maybe just be wounded or something, the way Alicia was. I was also very surprised that right after Isara got shot like that and killed, that they did it again with Alicia. I know it was completely a different thing going on with that. It was Faldio trying to awaken Alicia's powers, but... And I guess, thinking back on it, like, I don't know how else I would have expected Faldio to have done that, but... they could have thought of something else, I think. Maybe he set some kind of a trap for Alicia somewhere. I don't know. But the fact that right after an important major character was shot and killed, was sniped and shot and killed, they did it again. They sniped Alicia. They just had another major character getting sniped again out of nowhere. I don't like also that they showed that picture of Alicia in some crosshairs, like looking at the chapter screen. I don't like that they showed you that beforehand. I honestly thought that meant that there's no way that that's actually going to happen. Like, how could they just show you that happening? Like, that's got to be misleading in some way. Like, that's too major. That's too big. I guess maybe the way you can justify that is that she didn't die. She was just wounded. So maybe that could have been misleading players to think that Alicia was going to get killed right then. Maybe. But anyway, I did like the story a lot. I liked all the extra little the reports. I liked a lot. I like the interaction a whole lot between all the members of Squad 7. I liked Rosie's character a lot. Anytime anything romantic was going on, Rosie would just have to step in and just, like, fuck it up. Just, like, make everyone embarrassed about it. I liked that a lot. I wish there were a little more of that, but I loved Rosie's character in this game. I liked Largo a lot, too. I loved fucking Isara, but she's gone. I liked Ellet a lot. I liked Alicia a lot. I didn't like Welkin a whole lot. It was alright. It was okay. I didn't love his character that much. He was a little bit too weird. He's a little bit too much into nature for me to, like, really relate to him that much. A little bit too, like, socially inept at times. A little bit. I wasn't in love with Welkin's character the way I liked everyone else's, to be honest. Yeah, in Squad 7, I kind of felt like Welkin was just, like, the weakest character. Which is weird because he's the main character. Like Virat, Faldi. I liked everyone, pretty much. Everyone that I was supposed to like, all of the good guys, I liked all of them a lot. Very, very likable. The writers did a very good job of making those characters very likable. The characters that they wanted you to hate, the Borg, Damon, Maximilian, Gregor. Was his name Gregor? I think his name was Gregor. The guy who died on the train. Everyone that they wanted you to hate, I hated. So they did a very good job of making them very hateable. They made the likable characters extremely likable, the hateable characters very hateable. So the very talented writers worked on this game. And very good localizing went on in this game. In some of the personnel tabs, like, some of the stuff is a little bit wordy, I think. Written a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. Not really a fan of overly complex writing. I think it's a little bit borderline pretentious, a little bit. Not a fan of it. But the writing in this game, in cutscenes, dialogue, almost all of the writing in this game was very, very, very good. Cutscene dialogue was written extremely well for the most part. I didn't really notice many, like, I couldn't really point out many negative things in the cutscenes. not much. A couple of story things that I thought were a little ridiculous. Faldio taking as long as he did to have his revelation cutscene about Alicia. Like, it happened, it took like 4 chapters for that to happen, which in the context of the game is a couple months, I would guess, if the war took 7 months. A few months, something like that. 4 chapters. So yeah, Faldio took way too long to figure that out, I thought. But yeah, I really didn't notice a whole lot of negative things about this, about the story, about the cutscenes, the story. For the longest time, I thought that there would be something going on with Borg, and there was at the very end. Cordelia. Well, I guess she was just young, and that's why she was allowing herself to be manipulated by Borg. That makes sense. I kind of feel like Cordelia could have played a more prominent role near the end of the game. She like showed up at Marmota's end, and all she did was heal us once. She didn't do anything else. I think it's a little strange. Like, she's a major character showing up at in a level, you know, put in the path of danger. I thought she would have done a little bit more. I don't think she even had like any significant like lines and dialogue in any cutscene after that or anything. Yes, Cordelia could have been a more important character, I felt. I would have liked a little bit more backstory on Virat and Largo too, and actually Rosie. Like, we know that Rosie was racist, but then she got over that after Isara died. But I still feel like I don't know a whole lot about Rosie. And Irene Kohler, like Ellet. I just feel like I don't know those characters as well as I would like. Maybe, and you know what? Maybe that just goes to show, but that's how likable they were. But I just want more information on them. That might just, okay. I don't really feel that way so much about Martha, even though she kind of could have been a more prominent. She could have been she could have shown up at the end cutscene, maybe. And Martha's baby, also. Where were they? I didn't really care that much, but yeah, that end cutscene could have had a little bit more to it. I kind of get what they were going for, though. They were just kind of going for like, all right, the war is over. Everyone's going to go over separate ways. Everyone's going to resume their peaceful lives as they had before. I like that. I appreciate that. They do the same thing in Fire Emblem Awakening and Fates, and it works very well. It's nice to read a little bit of extra. They could have gave me a few more seconds to read all of that, but it's cool that I got to fucking see that Largo and Virat got married. That's pretty crazy. Rosie, I think she just went on to sing. I don't know if she stayed single, or I think it said that Cordelia was single or something. I don't know. But, I mean, that's kind of cool. I like that ending in a way. It's not like, you know, we're going to stay best friends because we've been through all this together. Like, they have their own lives, and they're returning to them. So I appreciate that. That's cool. Oh, here's another thing in the story. And this is something that I mentioned in my... I talked a lot about this when I was talking about Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. This is a thing that applies to both games. Characters being able to die permanently. I am not a fan of that at all. And not because I don't want to lose them and not be able to use them anymore, but because characters... Because all of the members of Squad 7 could have died permanently except for Largo and Rosie and Alicia. Because that was a thing, because at any point, like, because Vyse could have died at the battle at Barrios permanently early on in the story, that means that Vyse can never play an important role in the story at all. He can never do anything of significance in the story. In Fire Emblem, characters, if you play on classic mode, your character, pretty much all of your units can permanently die. Pretty much all of them. A lot of times well, not a lot, occasionally a unit will pop up in a cutscene and they'll have like an unimportant line or two of dialogue that just kind of adds a little bit to it. But because characters can die permanently, they cannot play a major role in the story. That's why Rosie, Largo, and Alicia could not die permanently, and everyone else could. They were just disposable. I would have really, like, I didn't mind it so much because I didn't think about it so much, because Largo, Rosie, and Alicia and everyone else all the main characters did a pretty good job of carrying the story. But imagine how much more interesting the story could have been if Vyse and Edie and Catherine and Yoko and Marina could have been included in some of those cutscenes. Other members of Squad 7 could have just showed up and just, you know, had a conversation with Rosie or Largo or Welkin. Imagine how much more interesting that could have been. And that's the thing that could have happened if permanent character death were not a thing. So I really am not a fan of permanent character death for mostly that reason. That is my main complaint about permanent character death. I understand that, you know, a lot of people probably don't care about it. A lot of people probably would disagree that with me being against it, but you could do so much. All these fucking characters. All of these characters could have had some role in the story. You could have done something, or maybe not all of them, but some of them. You could have done something with these characters. They could have done something. That would have been so much more. That would have been so interesting. I think they already had voice actors. Vyse could have been could have contributed something major. He could have been involved in some of these cutscenes. Fucking Vyse, cool ass Vyse. But no permanent character death, so he cannot. The difficulty curve of the game. The difficulty curve of the game. To be honest, I didn't really think there was much of a difficulty curve in this game. What I don't like about the difficulty is that the huge majority of the difficulty to this game comes from you not knowing what to expect, I felt. This game was really hard until I started taking the time to actually check things out before jumping right into it. Until I started doing that, when I was just playing it blind, it was really, really hard a lot of the time. So, yeah, I didn't really feel like there was a difficulty curve. The difficulty, I thought, was just all in you not knowing what to expect. And I know there's a hard mode. I think there's a hard mode. Well, I know that there are difficulty levels in the skirmishes. I also don't like that there are difficulty levels in the skirmishes and there's also permanent character death in the skirmishes. I think I just wouldn't like permanent character death. I would just hate for like me actually playing this game to accidentally lose a character permanently in a skirmish, in a side mission like that. That would just feel really shitty. I would not like that at all. But I think there's a hard mode that I just unlocked. So that's I guess that in that way there's a step of difficulty when you play on New Game Plus. I don't know. Anyway, story. I don't really have like a ton to say about the story. Like a lot of specifics to say. Like, characters were all pretty good. Very, very, very good. Just all around, they were just very good. Pretty much. Like even just like the members of Squad 7. I liked how diverse their personalities were. I loved the diversity in their personalities. That was really cool that they all didn't feel like the same flat, just fucking soldier type personality, you know? That was really cool. You know what? Whoever designed these characters, all of them, That guy's amazing. Or girl. Those people are amazing. Whoever was responsible for designing the characters in this game, fucking, I hope somebody throws a lot more money at those guys so that they can work on more video games, because those people are extremely talented. A surprising amount of variety in character personalities, given the sheer number of characters that there are in this game. Very surprising. I mean, they didn't have a ton of dialogue really, but they all had their own distinct personalities. That was really cool. Anything else in the story? Specifics in the story? Anything specific to the story that I can think of? That one cutscene at the Love Shack, that was still an amazingly well done cutscene. That was amazing. I wish that guy, we would have saw him again. That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. But yeah, that one cutscene, like I can talk a lot more about negatives because I can get into a lot more specifics about that. It's harder for me to like get into specifics about positives when it's harder for me to point out the little things that I really loved about this game when I love so many. Like, it's hard for me to point out little things in the story that I liked when I liked pretty much the whole thing, you know. Let me think about the progression of the story arc. Anything there? I feel like it progressed at a pretty good pace. I guess a lot of the story, and this isn't really good or bad, but it's just it's kind of an unavoidable thing to like elongate your game or your story, is that a lot of the game felt like it was just one battle after another. Like, go here and fight off the Imperials at this location. Cool. Now go over here and fight off the Imperials at this location. All right, good job. Now go over here and fight. Like, a lot of it felt like that, but you know what? I'm not even really comfortable saying a lot of it. I'm gonna just say some of it, because there really was a lot of like significant like story stuff, like Welkin and Alicia like getting separated from everyone else, and there being a stealth mission just involving them. But that involved a lot of character growth and a lot of they both became a lot closer because that happened. So it wasn't just like they became separated and then they made it back. No, a lot of like significant story stuff happened in that time. At the first time at the Cloden Wildwood Warfare at Cloden, we met Jaeger, an important character. In the desert, Barrius, we faced off against Maximilian and his Batamus. At Fauzen, we faced off against a giant train boss, Gregor. So you know what? I take that back. I totally take that back. The game, it didn't really feel like just one like battle after another. Just go here. Like there was some of that, but not really that much. There was enough significant story stuff peppered in that it kind of just detracted from that. Like yeah, you know, I rescind, I recant that statement. Okay, here's a gameplay thing that I thought was really cool. All the about how like every level had some cool new thing to it. It wasn't just kill everyone on the map or run to their base and capture it. It wasn't all that. A lot of levels, I don't know about most of the levels, but a lot of the levels, maybe most of the levels, had some unique aspect to them. Either some new type of fucking cannon that I gotta deal with, a new tank that I gotta deal with. I get smoke all of a sudden. I get a new weapon. I get Zaka. I don't know. There was a lot of cool stuff like that. A new boss, a boss unit is just in the level somewhere. I've got a weird, crazy objective that I've got a weird time limit or something. Keep this character alive for this many turns, defend the thing. I don't know. But there was a lot of uniqueness to give like a lot of diversity to like the gameplay itself. Sometimes that uniqueness was a little bit too complicated and there was a little bit too much to remember about all of that. Sometimes it was a little bit overwhelming, especially to somebody playing the game for the first time, but I liked the variety a lot. I appreciated that a lot. And that's also kind of part of the reason why I just didn't want to get into skirmishes, because I'm assuming skirmishes wouldn't have much of that at all. I'm assuming skirmishes is just kill all the enemies on the field or take the camp at the thing. Like that, that's not... I don't want to do that. Anything else in the story that I can think of? Fuck, I'm running out of shit to say about this game. I've been talking for a long time about this. Anything else? Anything else? What else can I think of? Brain, work. Work with me, brain. How do I feel about this game as a whole? I like it. I like this game. I like this game, and if to anybody else who is thinking of playing this game, I would absolutely recommend them to do what I did at the second half of this LP and try out the level for one turn, and then position all your units, and then play the game. Do it like that for every fucking level. I would absolutely recommend that. I wish if I had done that from the beginning, I think I would have enjoyed the levels themselves, the combat, a bit more. I think I would have. But for the story alone, I think the game is definitely worth buying. Definitely worth playing. I like this game. I don't know if I'm going to play it again ever. I don't know. This was kind of a slow-paced game, I felt like. Like, turns themselves... And I guess it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm new at it and I just needed to take a lot of time to think about how I was gonna move everything. But these levels just took longer than I wanted them to, especially in the beginning. So that might push me away from ever playing this game again. If they release a Valkyria Chronicles 2, a remastered Valkyria Chronicles 2, I might buy it. You know, after some time goes by, and because I've been recording this at such a crazy pace, I might feel more inclined to play this game at some point in the future. Maybe a year or two goes by, think back of my fond memories of Valkyria Chronicles. I might want to play this again. Maybe, probably not, but maybe. But if a second game were remastered, if enough time went by, I might buy it. I'd say there's a good chance that I would buy it, and I'd probably record it. Especially since I'm familiar with the mechanics from this game, I will go into it feeling a lot more prepared, I guess. Kind of like how I started playing Fire Emblem Fates a lot better than I had started Awakening, because I had no experience with Fire Emblem when I played Awakening. So yeah, I'd probably buy it if a remastered version of the second game came out. I wonder if they would, though, because I think that game released on PSP. This was remastered from PS3. So this was easier to remaster because it was less of a jump than remastering a PSP game would be. I don't know. I'm not sure how popular this game, the remaster of this game was, because to be honest, I think I heard about this remaster from like just some random YouTube video of somebody's list of games that were coming out in 2016. I didn't hear anybody say anything about this. I didn't read about it anywhere. I didn't see it in social media anywhere. But yeah, I can see why people like this game a lot. I can totally see why they like this game. This was a good game. This is a pretty good game. Pretty freaking good. If I had just gone into those levels more prepared, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. And as I sit here in this chair, I am saying yes, I enjoyed this game. I did. I liked it a lot. I don't know what else I could possibly say about this game. I don't know what else I could possibly say that I haven't already said. Yeah, alright. I think I'm just gonna have to I'm gonna just have to end the main part of the LP right here. I do have some DLC to play through, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'll do that... I'll do that in a few days, I think. I don't think it'll take me more than a couple days to get through all the DLC. It doesn't look to be very... it doesn't... Well, from what I've read about it, and I don't know what happens in the DLC, but it doesn't seem like there are a lot of levels in the DLC. So, I don't think it'll take me more than a couple days. But anyway, alright, so that's it for the main part of my Valkyria Chronicles Remastered LP. It's been a crazy one. The levels were so long. This has been super difficult to record. This is probably the hardest one I've ever recorded, and I've done a bunch on this channel and my old channel. This was probably the hardest. But it's over, and it was a good experience overall. The story was very, very good. I feel like I learned some things about game design from this, which actually was my ultimate goal for starting this whole YouTube, for starting to record for YouTube. That's always been my ultimate goal, to grow as a game designer, to learn as a game designer. And I feel like I definitely have from this LP. Anyway, that's it. That's it for the main part of this. Probably going to be, I would guess, maybe 4 videos after this. But that's just DLC stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching my, I don't know how many hours I have put into this game. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it all. Feel free to rate, comment, subscribe if you'd like. Stay tuned for the DLC that's going to come up after this, and stay tuned for whatever else I've got. Whatever other LP I've got coming after this. I'll see you later, guys. Thanks again. Peace.